The scene was illuminated by the sunset with a coquelicot glow, casting shadows on a battlefield littered with flickering flames and the remains of crouching metal beasts and quadruped spiders, mechanical viscera protruding from their frames. Those were the remains of friend, the remains of foe, the remains of everything. When I say that Volume 1 of the light novel series 86 was hard to get through, please don't misunderstand me. The book is beautifully written, as illustrated by the passage I just read, with stark but incredible imagery and well-conceived characters. But it's also very much a story about war, in the vein of other war novels like Erich Maria Remarque's All Quiet on the Western Front, a book that 86 references repeatedly. In other words, this is not a celebration of the glory of war, but of its horrors, of the inhumanity that humanity inflicts upon itself. And the barrage is unrelenting throughout the length of this 250-page novel. It seems each chapter reveals some new depths of depravity, some new atrocity, some new war crime. Taken together, it makes 86 a difficult book to get through, but not a difficult book to review. It's great. The premise of 86 is that an evil foreign empire has created an army of autonomous killing mechs called the Legion. Those mechs turned on the empire, destroying it, and are now running rampant over the continent. The two main settings for the book are the First Ward of the Republic, a nation that has mobilized against the Empire's Legion, and the Eastern Front of the war. The Republic has developed unmanned drones to fight against the Legion, and each day the news reports of further victories in which the Republic loses not a single troop. But the reality is much darker. The Republic's drones are not unmanned. They are piloted by the former residents of the Republic's 86th Ward, individuals who lack the pure lineage demanded by the Republic for citizenship. The Republic views these 86 as cattle, as swine, and as such considers that any losses they sustain are not actually human losses. You absolutely should read 86 Volume 1. Let's get that out of the way right now before I get into a brief analysis of the novel. And since you should definitely read it, I'm going to avoid spoiling any more of the plot, though if you've seen the anime, I will tell you that Season 1 is a pretty straightforward adaptation of this volume, but the book somehow manages to hit so much harder than the anime. Take this passage, which comes right after the Spearhead Squadron has lost one of its members. Their experience allowed them to detach from their emotions and maintain the cool-headedness they needed to survive. It was the consciousness of humans who had adapted to the madness of the battlefield and degraded into cold, calculated killing machines. And then the very next paragraph describes their actions. With only a moment's pause, a single bitter intake of breath, the swarm of quadruped mechanical spiders resumed their clamorous scurry into the shade of the trees, and like the shambling skeletons of the dead lying in wait under the dimly lit entrance at the underworld's edge, they wandered about, seeking anyone they could sink their claws into, anyone to strangle and drag down to the same place their fallen companion had gone. These are not terms used to describe humans, scurrying, shambling, sinking their claws into enemies. It's as if in this moment the dehumanization that the Republic has subjected the 86 to has become reality, turning them into something literally inhuman. Volume 1 of 86 plays rhetorical tricks with language like this repeatedly. Let's go back to that lovely passage I read to open this video where the color of the sunset is described as coquelicot. The color in question refers to a specific shade of red, the red of poppies, as seen in Monet's Les Coquelicots. The author could have used any number of words to describe a red sunset, blood red being the most obvious, but scarlet, crimson, and vermilion all come to mind. But she used the word coquelicot to evoke that connection with poppies, and by extension, the connection with the horrors of World War I. To this day, poppies are used to commemorate and honor fallen soldiers. With just one word, the author brings up a whole host of connections. Now, I've only scratched the surface of what Volume 1 of 86 has to offer. I encourage you, if anything I've said here intrigues you, to check it out for yourself. While it is difficult at times to get through due to the realistically depicted horrors of war, it is well worth reading. If you like this video, consider subscribing to my channel. I frequently discuss manga, video games, and light novels. If you didn't like this video, leave a comment telling me your favorite war crime. Either way, I'll see you next time.